Support WrestleTalk!
Vince McMahon is back, but who stole his precious golden egg?
Not a word of that was a lie.
I am Luke Owen, DAD, your new Jam That Champion. I'm joined by Adam Blompier as we review WWE Survivor Series 2021.
But wait! You have beaten Pete Quinnell, Chopper Pete Quinnell, for the belt, but you haven't beaten him for that belt.
I did not.
You beat him for our brand new Jam That Championship title belt, designed by Paul Martin Belts. Oh, it's such a beauty.
It is, and it's much lighter to hold on the old shoulder. So
Oh.
that makes it a delight.
How do you feel?
Feel good. It was good to jam it in on Pete Quinnell because he had soundly beats me.
Yes.
In the old predictions
Yes.
game. I had lost
Fair and square.
quite massively. 5-2, in fact, I had lost.
But still, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Because the gimmick,
Because I jammed it in anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And I am the new Jam That Champion. And hey, that wasn't the biggest thing of the night, really, was it? Adam.
Hello.
Vince McMahon's back.
I know, he is. With his crazy eyebrows and his wacky hair.
Roman Reigns is coming to my office space. I've got this egg. Who's seen this egg?
So, WWE are brilliant at brand integration. We saw this earlier this year with the zombie match.
Yes, of course. How could I forget?
With Damian Priest and The Miz. We saw it with the that water that was like 98% sugar that Xavier Woods was spraying out onto people at SummerSlam.
Bloody hell, I don't know. I feel like a Pizza Hut. I don't know about you.
I know.
I could have 3 Pizza Hut pizzas.
Cricket
right,
Wireless, anyone? So WWE.
WWE's cool, aren't they?
Oh, God, they're so good. This is how they get the 18 to 49 demographic. So WWE also have a deal with Netflix to promote the new movie that they've got, Red Notice, which stars Rock the Dwayne Johnson. And that is a movie we have now learned via the medium of WWE is about people stealing eggs that once belonged to Cleopatra.
It's not clear whether or not Queen Cleopatra laid these eggs.
Nope.
But these are ancient eggs, which they're the movie MacGuffins. But one featured here tonight.
Yes, well, those were just props.
They were just props.
Vinnie Mac made it very clear it's just a prop in Dwayne's movie.
He's got the real $100 million egg.
So Vince McMahon, he arrives in this limo on the pre-show. He arrives in this limo. He steps out. There's a gaggle of WWE superstars and Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville.
Please don't fire me.
Going bananas that Vince McMahon is here.
Please don't fire me
Just
too.
applauding the fact that he came here. And then he goes,
I've got one thing to show you.
and he goes back into the car.
It's like, oh God, is it our pink slips?
And he comes out with this golden egg. And they go even more ballistic for the golden egg. Later on in the show. Sorry, do you want to? What are your thoughts?
My immediate thoughts are mere days after a mass release of talent, Vince shows up with a bit of gaudy 50-cent bull S-word jewelry, which apparently is worth $100 million. It's like you don't want to sell that and keep a couple of people employed in your company.
Well, this is how you get record profits, really, isn't it? So. Later on
it's so bleak.
Later on in the night, Vince is in his office. Roman Reigns approaches, and he sort of goes past the security guard and he steps in.
Survivor Series we're talking about.
Yeah, Survivor. Yeah. There's also Survivor Series matches on this show. Roman Reigns,
25th anniversary of The Rock, if anything.
Universal Champion, took on the WWE Champion in the main event. The Rock didn't show. And so Roman approaches Vince, and he walks in, and Vince's like,
I want to show you my egg.
and so he shows him his egg, and he explains to him that this is
It's Cleopatra's egg. I got it from your
And
house.
Roman is looking like he has finally cracked it. He is absolutely out to lunch.
What
This guy.
is happening
When
here?
can I leave?
What is this? What am I doing here? And he essentially just goes like,
Grandpa wants to show me his new egg.
in my day, nickels had pictures of bumblebees on them. Is essentially what happened here. And so Roman's like, cool, bro, I'm out. And so he gets up and he leaves. We have, 5 matches or something. We cut back to
Survivor Series, one of
With
the big
Survivor
4
Series,
pay-per-views.
it's wrestling, isn't it? So we cut back to Vince in another segment, and Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville are yucking it up with each other because
great time.
they're doing a wonderful pay-per-view.
None of them calling attention to the fact that there is an empty case on.
We, as the audience, have seen
Oh,
that
yeah.
the case that once had this $100 million golden egg it's no longer there. And Vince McMahon walks in with his telephone, and he's sitting down because he's texting Linda or something.
iPhone 13 Pro. He keeps up with the times.
It is, yeah. And it was red as well, so he's clearly Team Raw. And Team Raw, by the way, won the night. That was never brought
Oh,
up.
that was not in doubt. That was not.
Also never brought up on commentary whatsoever. Brand loyalty, brand warfare. And he's just like,
I'm personally defending some amazing jobs over here.
and then he notices that the egg's gone.
And the egg's gone. Call the police. Call the cops. Go to Vegas. Call the Coast Guard. Call the mayor. Call Donald. He owes me a favor.
And then he tells Adam Pearce,
Adam.
not you.
I know, but I looked up. I'm such a narcissist.
He tells Adam Pearce, gather together the stars of Raw and SmackDown on Raw tomorrow night, because we're going to question everyone on who stole Vince McMahon's golden egg. Because when the ratings are down, Vince goes back to what he knows. Big dudes with muscles, ladies with skimpy clothing, heel authority figures, and Vince McMahon back on the telly.
And egg-based intrigue.
And exactly, a whodunit. These are loads of these whodunit things before. Do you remember, during when Shawn Michaels came back for his match with Triple H, and they were like, "Oh man, we've got a really good match here with Triple H and Shawn Michaels. It's a storyline that writes itself. What it needs though is a whodunit angle first."
You know who stole the egg, right? You know it's only bloody Hornswoggle. He's absolutely the person behind this.
Vince bloody loves a whodunit, and that's what we got here. We got a who egged it about who stole Vince.
An egg done it.
Who stole Vince? So Adam,
Hello, mate.
who do you think stole? This is the most important thing coming out of Survivor Series 2021. Who stole Vince McMahon? Okay, we're being glib here. We're going to laugh about this a lot, and we had quite a giggle about this on the live reactions.
Oh, we sure did.
I'm genuinely curious to watch Raw, and I haven't said that all year long. So
They got you.
kudos to WWE. They got me this time.
And the chips are down. When they put themselves into a corner, they
Oh.
somehow find a way.
Oh, I'm watching. You bet your bottom dollar that I'm going to be watching. I'll be watching that show.
Might not even watch it in 2 speed. Might watch it in 1.5.
I might go down and watch it on the BT Sport app on my telly. With ad breaks and all. I'm not watching it live. So, who do you think stole the egg?
Oh, I mean, there's so many people it could have been. It could have been Brock Lesnar, of course. He needs something to do after losing to Roman at Crown Jewel. Could be The Rock, obviously, because the red notice about him stealing the egg, so he's got practice and he's got previous.
But he got it from The Rock. He did say The Rock gave me this.
Scam it. It's a long con.
Oh,
gotta think about it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like how when Vince McMahon was the How of Power, and his whole
It was me, Vince.
his whole shtick of being the How of Power was to keep the title off of Austin, and part of that plan was putting the title on Austin.
I've got a long con to get this egg. Now we've got the egg. I'm going to give it to this old man, and then I'm going to
Steal it again.
Steal it back. I'm going to go to the show, steal it. I'm going to appear on the show.
Yeah.
No,
Red
that'll be
Notice
too-
2.
that'll be too. It's a movie trailer was cut into the opening video package of a major Big Four WWE pay-per-view. It's absolutely mind-boggling.
Yeah. So Stephanie McMahon was touting this on the investors call that we had in the quarterly investors call, which we all love listening to at WrestleTalk. It's on our Spotify playlist.
Great chats.
That WWE are super wicked cool at brand integration, better than any other sport of brand integration, because we saw it with the zombie film with Batista.
Of course,
what was that called again?
Army of the Dead.
So we saw it with that. We saw it with that water thing at SummerSlam. The Rock's 25th anniversary Battle Royal to celebrate 25 years of The Rock was a Pizza Hut advert. They're dead good at this. And that's what this is. So when they were promoting Survivor Series, they also were promoting the movie and being like, hey, these guys are cool, but really should watch this movie. You probably stop this pay-per-view and go watch the movie if you want.
Stop watching it on Peacock. Hop
Yeah,
on
go
over to
over to
Netflix. They know how
Netflix,
to take care of you over there.
So, should we try and come up with a short list of people it could be? Because I want to do a 4-person poll.
It's bloody Swoggle, mate. You know it's
so you're saying
Swoggle.
Hornswoggle.
R-Truth.
R-Truth. Roman. Roman.
He snuck in. Dun, dun, dun. He descended slowly from the ceiling.
Exactly. When that first scene, he was casing the joint. And then, for the fourth one, Sami Zayn.
Yeah, it feels like something you'd do, doesn't it?
It feels like a Sammy thing, doesn't it? So, Mod Mother, if you can hear me, that is a poll we'd like to put up. Who stole the egg? Was it Hornswoggle? The end of Sam. Who stole the Vince McMahon's egg? Was it Hornswoggle, R-Truth, Roman, or Sami Zayn?
Find out next week.
I have a feeling that Hornswoggle's going to run away with this as the troll vote.
Yeah.
Okay, secondary question. Are you interested?
In Who Stole the Egg?
Yeah. Like, does it make you want to watch Raw?
No, of course not. We've all had a bit of fun here today, but we know WWE, and we know that WWE love a whodunit. They also absolutely cack the bed when it comes to solving the whodunit.
Oh, they suck at them.
They do. It probably won't be funny tomorrow. It probably won't be funny when it happens. Genuinely, someone left a comment for us on our stream, which you should watch because we lose our minds over the egg. But someone put it like, it's just going to be Vince turns up to catering and sees R-Truth tucking into an omelette and a broken egg, a broken golden egg next to him, which makes no sense. And Vince will just go. And then he'll walk out of the.
It's probably better than the last time you saw something. Could have been worse.
And then probably everyone will burst into applause.
Adam Pearce shows up and goes, "Great work, boss. You've done it again." Well, let's see.
God, WWE's cool.
Isn't it just, Adam? Let's see what you have to say about this in the Ultrachats, WrestleTalk.com/support. Callum Hogan said, "Hi, boys. Still here. Still smashed. You're my 2 favorite WrestleTalk boys."
Oh.
2 questions. One more, Bev. Yes or no? It's 5:30 now.
But we're also going to be doing this for another better part of an hour.
I mean, I do have a Bev on the floor, but it is 5:30. I mean, who would you rather spend a romantic weekend with? Simon Dean or Kerwin White? Not Chavo. Egg. That's what they've written here.
Yes, that's a lot of G's. Simon Dean, I guess. Because Kerwin, like Simon Dean is annoying, but Kerwin White says racist things.
I mean, yeah, when you put it that way. I was about to say, I mean, he does like playing golf, and, that's always, at least that's something to do. I'd rather play golf than do exercise.
I mean,
as the old saying goes.
If you're having an intimate night, you'll probably be doing some exercise regardless.
Yeah, maybe. What we got next? Jenny Davis says, WWE reminds me a lot of the title of Zayn's newest album, Nobody Is Listening. Also, listen to that if you haven't yet. It's amazing. Also, Luke, since you have a daughter, you'll be listening to his old band a lot in 10 years. I'm assuming that's Zayn is in... I thought that was Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn. Maybe it's Zayn from One Direction?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, that makes...
Billy Zayn? I hope it's Billy Zayn.
It's definitely not Billy Zayn. That makes way more sense because I was like, Sami Zayn's released an album. That's pretty impressive. And Bloodwire Radio said, Egg got called up and released already. This company is an embarrassment.
Very, very good.
Very good.
Very good.
Beer52.com/WrestleTalk. Get yourselves 10 free craft beers on us. Not 1, not 2, not 3, 10 free craft beers. All you got to do is pay for that wicked postage and packaging, which is about £6. Which, if you're in London, that's a beer.
Yeah, exactly.
So you get 9 more of the buggers.
Blumeneck.
So click the link in the video description down below, or the one that's being spammed in the chat by our wonderful moderating team. Get yourself 10 free craft beers. It's also a great Christmas present for a loved one who also likes delicious craft ale. It's an excellent service. I've been a user of them I've been saying 5 years, but it's actually more like 6 years.
Goodness me.
I have been a user of Beer 52. I think it's an excellent, excellent service, and they're wonderful people.
Oh, well, isn't that lovely?
So I'm a big, big fan of them. They also do Wine 52 as well.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to talk to them about that.
Ooh.
So click the link in the video description down below. Thank you to Beer 52 for sponsoring this episode. Right. There was also wrestling on this pay-per-view.
It was genuinely less consequential. Genuinely, all of the wrestling on this show is going to have less consequence
Than
the egg.
Than the golden egg. You're right, actually, yeah, because nothing mattered.
Nothing's holding over till Raw.
Nothing mattered on this show. It was remarkable how nothing mattered on this show.
Here's the thing, right? So Survivor Series has sort of been this way for the past, going on 5 years now. 2016 was the first major year where they really, really started to ram home brand warfare.
Yeah.
And genuinely, as a format, normally when I don't hate the company, I'm fine with that. Because normally it's a chance for some really good wrestlers to have some, yes, consequence-free and generally context-free exhibition matches.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, that is an unoffensive night of wrestling. And I think this Survivor Series, actually, in terms of the in-ring product, is one of the higher examples of consequence-free means nothing Survivor Series brand warfare. I actually think there were some pretty brilliant matches on this card. But it did come during a week where they released yet another swathe of their talent, including the preposterously talented Hit Row. So yeah, like the ill feeling towards WWE is at an all-time high. And coupled with the fact that they built the entire thing around The Rock, and he never showed up. The only part of The Rock that showed up was the egg from his bloody movie.
I've got to find Steph Chase had a fabulous way of phrasing this. I need to find it. Where is she? Stephanie Chase. She put it as do. Where is it? Oh, Stephanie, I can't find you.
Well, while you find, sorry.
If you've ever been embarrassed about drunk texting an ex, remember WWE wanted a 4-hour-long tribute show to The Rock, and he didn't show up.
I saw Sean Ross Sapp post, I think it was Sean Ross Sapp or the Fightful account, say that The Rock contributed more to Bound for Glory 2020 by sending in a cameo than he did to a show which was just full of video packages.
Yeah, there was so many video packages of Rock being like, God, he's great. God, he's absolutely brilliant as The Rock. And that was it. And there was nothing else to this. Like, the Battle Royal that we got was in honor of The Rock, I guess. But that was overshadowed by Pizza Hut. So it didn't feel like The Rock's Battle Royal, which is what it was set up to be, because there's 25 lads in there because of 25 years of The Rock. And so I do think that there really was a swell of people who were like, there's so much references to The Rock in this. Roman did a rock bottom in the main event. And, yeah, The Rock didn't show. They also sort of teased that Brock Lesnar might be there, because just before the main event, Heyman announced that Brock Lesnar was no longer indefinitely suspended. And in the end, it was just like, Roman just wins and pay-per-view goes off the air. I do think there would have been a swell, because they didn't advertise that The Rock was going to be there. No. They never said, hey, buy your ticket now because The Rock's going to be there.
But Taker turned up to his.
And no one was there for that.
No.
Well, I mean, Michael P.S. Hayes was, but, he's always there. So, the show opened with Shinsuke Nakamura versus Damian Priest.
On the bloody pre-show.
Which I thought was
your mid-card titles.
I thought this was a slam dunk win for Damian Priest, because he's getting a push on Raw, whereas Shinsuke Nakamura isn't. Like, he is losing tag matches. He's losing tag matches, and Rick Boogs isn't the one being pinned. The Intercontinental Champion is the one being pinned. So I thought Damian Priest has got to be a surefire win here. No, what happened was Damian Priest had the match won. Rick Boogs played some stuff on a guitar. Damian Priest got annoyed at this, hulked out, smashed the guitar, and got himself DQ'd like a twat. I do not like this new Damian Priest thing.
No, I don't necessarily hate it, because if they run with it, they'll create something that I think people generally are going to get invested in. If it's something in the match where just like something happens, it's call and response with the fans. If he starts to pull a face and that means something, the fans will eventually bite. They just will. Wrestling fans are very, very predictable that way. What is absolutely crap is they're not feuding.
No.
They're not going to feud. It's Raw versus SmackDown. They're going to go their separate ways. Just like he could have just been distracted and rolled up by Nakamura. Why did he have to get himself disqualified? Why could no one win? Why could no one win on the pre-show?
Because WWE are always in this thing where they put themselves into this position where they don't want either guy to lose. And they were like, well, now what do we do? Oh, I guess we'll just do a DQ no contest. Just making things feel even more inconsequential. And they sit back and they're like, how do we keep putting ourselves in this situation? Because you make the situation. Like, you made these rules. And now you've got to and you're like, oh man, can't book our way out of this.
Yeah, it's like, what were you expecting? A clean finish in a match that we booked? We didn't have any choice. We booked it.
The title switch all over again. We had no choice but to do the title switch. There was no other way round the situation of them being on the different show.
Total dud. Really sad way to start the show. And also like a really, really poor advert for the pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah.
Because remember the pre-show is supposed to be an advert for the pre-show. Vince was on the pre-show.
Yeah.
Like they were parachuting Vince in to try and drum up interest for Survivor Series, one of the worst built Big Four pay-per-views
easily
in a decade. And this was your final push to kind of watch this show. It's going to be great. Was someone breaks a guitar and gets himself DQ'd, and awful.
Sure, better buy this show. Thankfully, the opening match that we got, Becky versus Charlotte, was the only match that had any form of intrigue going into it because of the actual animosity between the two backstage following that title exchange situation. And, they've been cutting some pretty decent promos on each other that were blurring the lines between shoot and work, and they kicked the crap out of each other in this match.
I really wanted to hate it. Because I was like, I was really anti the show. I was staying up late. I was real grumpy. I hadn't had my pizza yet. I really wanted to hate this match. It is the best match that Becky and Charlotte have had so far.
Yeah, it was real good.
If they, and with the video package, if they are trying to build kind of like them as the kind of Rock and Austin kind of thing, now that Ronda's especially out of the picture, it feels like if you're going to have a women's wrestling Rock and Austin, it's probably now at this point going to be Becky and Charlotte. So far, this has been the best match they've done in that saga.
Yeah, I thought this was really, really good. And I actually said on the reaction stream that despite the fact that this was the match with the most interest going in, I wasn't that interested in it. Because I've seen Becky Charlotte. I've seen it quite a lot. So I was kind of like, I'm ready for them to be able to do something new. Because it feels like that's all they ever do is just feud with each other.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty over that. And because WWE have this insistence of not building new stars, they are just sort of doomed to repeat this cycle over and over again. So I was going into it being like, all right, cool, I've seen this match 20,000 times at this point. But they went in there and they did a completely different match to what they'd done previously. So more fool me, really. And I actually thought this was really good. Becky's outfit as well. She came out as Scarlet Witch, which was pretty rad. They boand looked awesome. They both beat the piss out of each other.
Oh, absolutely. Just grabbing hair, yanking.
Yeah.
And not in like a cat fight way,
No.
in a vicious kind of and some of it genuinely looked, what I liked about it, like you said, we discussed in the stream, was it didn't look choreographed. It didn't look like, intricate Johnny Gargano, chain wrestling. These guys hated each other, and so they had a Weatherspoons parking lot brawl.
That's exactly
They were
it,
just
yeah.
scrapping, trying to deck each other. Like the opening stage of this match is like, that is how a blood feud match should start, which is crazy because this is like terribly built show. There are no real major storylines going into this. Most of this story came from like backstage real life bleeding in and
Meltzer
like
and Sap.
people going off script and stuff. So like that is the only thing that kind of really bled in to give it any kind of intrigue and interest. But they used that to have genuinely the most heated match I've seen, at least the most heated start to a match I've seen. Genuinely more heated than some like like when Seth tried to rip out Rey Mysterio's eye. Like, genuinely, they started the match less hot than this. They basically just like had a tiff backstage and are calling each other bitches.
The weird thing is, though, and I really enjoyed the finish to this. I actually loved the finish to this, which was that Charlotte rolled Becky up and held onto the ropes, and the referee caught her. And then Becky reverses that, rolls her up, and she grabs the ropes to get the win. Thought it was a very, very cool finish. I think it was basically the finish to the triple threat at Crown Jewel.
Well, yeah, Becky did the same hook the rope with her arm.
So maybe she's making that like part of her shtick now.
Maybe.
So, you know, I can totally get behind. So I quite enjoyed the finish, but it's not building to anything.
No,
because they're on different shows.
Well, it's building to this will be revisited. They're destined to do this forever, according to 4-star movie The Dark Knight. It's something that they will come back to. This is kind of a stepping stone. I'm sure they will meet again. Charlotte will probably get the win back. Then they'll just keep building and building this thing. It's the John Cena, Randy Orton. It's the Rock, Austin. But like I said, I really dug it.
Yeah, good. This is easily the best thing on the show for me.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I mean, outside of the egg.
Outside of the egg, I like the main event, but this is my favorite thing because, like I say, it felt like a fresh, different style of booking, a different style of fight. It's not. I wouldn't say that it felt real. It just felt like it had urgency to it, and an urgency that you don't often see, especially at a show like Survivor Series where people are fighting for T-shirts.
Yeah, well, we get to the T-shirts a little bit later on. There were no T-shirts in the men's elimination match, though, which I was delighted to see. They weren't out there looking like complete dorks. They didn't have to wear the T-shirts.
Oh, can I just say one thing about the way the women's match ended? The only thing I'm annoyed at is Charlotte going,
I didn't mind.
That, to me, is very John Cena-y. It's very kind of like, if I just go, you got me, it just immediately diffuses the tension. Like, they went into the match. Literally, the first thing was that Charlotte just like fucking tried. Sorry.
Edison Vinny.
Oh no. Oh, sorry. But immediately went in and just tried to clock her in the face. But at the end of the match, when Becky cheated to beat her, Charlotte's just like, you old scam.
Yeah, you got me.
You rascal. Yeah. Walking off, looking behind him, like, because if Charlotte doesn't care, then she didn't really lose. And I hate that.
Well, yeah.
Care that you lost.
Well, I know, but there was Grayson Waller told me on NXT that wins and losses don't matter. So, you know, really, why do we care?
That's a sour note, but the match was great.
Match was great. The men's elimination match, it took me a little while to get into this, and I think by the end, I don't think I was into this. And I don't think it was helped by the fact that our opening contest had a DQ finish. Our second contest had a screwy finish by cheating.
Yeah.
The first elimination was a count-out. We then had 2 pinfalls, and then 2 people got eliminated by count-out. And I was like, why can't we just pin people in this company? Like, they have to protect everyone. So no one gets over because no one's doing anything.
Well, it's not protecting someone to have them be a part of something that's really dumb. Like, Drew looked dumb. Like, so yeah, obviously, so Kevin Owens walked out. Fun bit of character stuff.
Loved Owens walking out, because why wouldn't he stay? Why would he stay there?
Yeah.
No one likes him. No one trusts him. So he's just like, screw you guys.
Yeah, he hates everyone there, and he doesn't care about T-shirts. So he leaves, which, you know, if that's isolated by itself, that's fine. And then I can't remember. Then
Woods and Balor got pins normally.
Oh, and Corbin.
Corbin was out. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone beat Corbin. And then, yes, absolutely. Drew McIntyre, who genuinely, like, the betting odds were in SmackDown's favor. And I think the reason was there's only one main eventer, one dyed-in-the-wool, for sure main eventer on SmackDown's team, and that was Drew McIntyre.
Oh, yeah.
So everyone was thinking, he's going to get the treatment that ended up being the treatment that Bianca Belair got, which is like, he's going to go down. He's going to win by himself. That sets him up versus Roman. That gives him the credibility that he needs. Instead, he brawls Bobby Lashley on the outside. Again, reigniting a feud, which isn't going to continue because they're on 2 separate brands. And he doesn't make it back into the ring for a 10 count, and he looks like a proper pancake.
I do think this is going to lead to a match, though. I think this is going to be a WrestleMania match. Like, you know, brands be damned. I think these are going to be like, it's the star from Raw, the star from SmackDown. the dream match you didn't know you wanted that you got at WrestleMania this year. So I think that I do think they're going to do this match at Mania. It really felt like they were trying to like build these two. And later on, the video packages we got a video package for Drew and a video package for Bobby.
I don't see it. I don't think so. I genuinely feel like those packages were for us because Peacock were getting advertisements at the time, and it just it puts no heat on the feud because it's such a diffusing. All the fans hated it, we hated it, and then after that, it completely took all the steam out of the men's match because Raw had Finn Balor, it had. Who else? It had obviously Seth Rollins and Austin Theory, to be fair. But then
on his juicy ass.
And yes, he did have a big bum, does Austin Theory. Good for you, sir. But on the SmackDown side of things, you had Sheamus and Jeff Hardy. At that point, you know they're not winning, so and then like another 10 to 15 minutes happens.
Oh, there was a huge swell of just okay, just get on with it, lads.
Yeah.
I think we can skip to the end now. Poor old Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy went into this match knowing he's going to be there for 40 minutes. So spent the first 35 of them not doing anything.
Was that not a spot that could have been taken by Woods? I mean, jeez.
Wrestling in slow motion was Jeff Hardy. Clapping in slow motion was Jeff Hardy. He's I'm not going to exert all my energy now because I've got to save it for the final flurry that we've got. It was quite sad watching Jeff in this position. You're absolutely right. Why wasn't that Woods, the king of the ring? Why wasn't Woods in that position? The man who's recently just been feuding with Roman Reigns.
Who's literally the underdog going into it. The plucky underdog who's just got a big win, is finally starting to build a bit of steam, becoming a single star for the first time ever in his career. Never mind, it's just an example of weird, screwy booking. I don't get it. I don't know who. Obviously, people like Jeff Hardy. He is a mainstream holdover star. A lot of nostalgia behind him. Everyone loves his theme tune, all that stuff. But you just felt all the air go out of the match because you knew Jeff Hardy is not going to beat Seth Rollins,
the number one contender to the WWE champion.
Yeah.
So Seth Rollins was the sole survivor of that match, I think. Yeah, Theory got pinned, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Theory had a good showing.
Yeah, Theory had a really good showing.
Austin Theory was elevated by that match.
Yeah. Then we got Vince in the office with the egg. These are... So I'm using Ollie Davis's notes that he took during the show. Vince in office with egg. Roman enters. Vince says, look at the egg.
Roman, look at the egg. What do you think?
It's the actual egg, not the stage prop. Look at the diamonds. It's worth millions of dollars. Roman smiles and just walks out.
Cool.
So here we are. I mean, it was a lovely tribute to The Rock, as was the 25-man Battle Royal, which I think is still going on.
Jeez, oh.
This wasn't anything to do with The Rock in the end. This was just a big advert for Pizza Hut, and Moss won. And it just kept on. It was like an Energizer bunny. It kept going and going and going and going and going, and it took forever to get to our very obvious conclusion that the man who can't take a bump isn't going to take a bump. And he won. Iron Sheik in WrestleMania X7 was a Moss here.
It was such bollocks.
Yeah.
Oh, man. People wonder why. At what point did WWE lose their edge? And I think it's when you have respected athletes dicking around over pizza slices. With, what's his name? What's the name of the one who boffed Mandy?
Otis. Sir.
They went on a romantic holiday together.
I think we can assume. It's 10 to 6 in the morning. I'll allow you that.
We can assume bedroom things happened. So yeah, like just like generally hypnotizing him with pizza in the same way that you would charm a snake.
But you'd think that would lead to something with Chad Gable. Because Chad Gable's whole thing is like in the Alpha Academy, I'm making you a better version of you. But it didn't. It just led to the elimination of R-Truth and Otis.
It's just a bunch of pizza shenanigans, and I'm sorry, I don't have the energy left in my old bones.
No.
To find it thigh slapping and rib tickling.
T-shirts were back for this.
Oh yeah, this was the T-shirt match for sure.
Yeah. What was the prize? The pizzas. So like all the pizzas on the outside, is that what the like
almost didn't get the prize if that's the case.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like the Street Profits sort of stole all the pizzas from it and throw out this old crusty pizza.
Oh yeah, those pizzas did not move. You could bang them against the table and they would shatter.
It nearly came back to him.
Genuinely, and some of them are so pointy, and then the Street Profits just start hoying them into the ground. You can have someone's eye out with that.
It's like Brock Lesnar with that car door.
Exactly. The Street Profits coming out and offering Byron some pizza, and then be like, you don't get the pizza, Byron, you stupid prick. No pizza for you, Byron.
So mean.
I know.
Poor old Byron.
What's the point? What's the point of any of this?
Yeah, and Amos did not get his pizza. This was no good, and it went on forever.
Ages.
And it totally dragged us out of the pay-per-view because we were barely paying attention during RKBros versus the Usos. And it was your standard WWE tag team match on telly. The heels work over one of the baby faces for a long time. That babyface gets a hot tag to the other babyface who runs wild, who then tags back in the original babyface who also runs wild, and then you do the finish.
Hell of a finish, though.
Hell of a finish, which was like one of the Usos went up for a splash. Orton caught him in midair. Despite not being the legal man, got the pin.
And Riddle took the splash anyway.
Yeah.
So very Randy Orton. Very kind of like, I will win us the match, but I'm not going to protect you in any way.
But I didn't really care much about this.
It was fine. It was fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
There was some nice flurries with Riddle and both Usos when he's just kind of going hog wild on like his hot tag. Like Riddle had a really good hot tag in the match, but like you say, it's pretty inconsequential, but decent. Yeah. It's not like a takeover tag team match, but it was decent.
I'm going to read Ollie's notes verbatim here. Backstage with Vince. Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville excited to talk to Vince. The egg is gone. Vince goes on for way too long about who could have stolen it. Sonya calls the police. Pearce says it could be a superstar.
Did Vince talk about like, there was a slimy person. It was a slimy man. And the nurse keeps stealing my medication.
I am so excited for Croaky Vince to be on Raw doing. Welcome to Monday Night Raw.
He's not good at promos anymore. It'll get sad. You mark my words.
Oh, it already is. Then we got the women's Survivor Series match, Raw versus SmackDown.
I was ready to throw in the towel at this point.
Really was. I was so done with this show. That Battle Royal killed me.
If you enjoy the show, that's absolutely fine. But you do have to understand that, yes, first of all, we are grumpy old men who don't like pizza-based shenanigans. Ass-slapping antics where people fall over and cross their eyes and do a whole Kevin James, I fell on my bum routine involving pizza. We're just too old for that.
Yeah.
We're both in our mid-30s. But
I'm also holding a fake title belt.
because you jammed it in with a lunch box.
Jammed it in with a gold box.
But you have to understand that it was, at this point, around about 3:30 in the morning for us, and
we were crashing,
staring down the barrel of what was probably going to be another half hour of inconsequential, iffily booked elimination wrestling.
We basically lost it in this match because we were just so focused on the egg and everything to do with the egg, all of the egg puns. Someone said in the chat, can they coexist?
Yeah, chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss, beautiful. And unfortunately, some people did not coexist in this match because Team SmackDown were absolute doofy twats in this match. They were up 4-1.
Yeah.
They had Sasha Banks, Shotzi, someone else, and another person. And they were and it was Bianca Belair on her own. And for whatever reason, Shotzi and whoever else she was with decided, despite the fact they've been working together for the majority of the match, we're just going to sack Sasha Banks off now.
Yeah.
We're going to stop her. Her own teammates stopped her from getting in the ring, and she got counted out.
Well, they did do a promo early in the night. I think it could have been on the pre-show. I can't remember. And crucially, I don't care.
It was on the pre-show.
But where she talks to all of her and does some subtle shade through her team, and the team starts to fall apart there. So they did at least lay. They planted the egg for the match earlier in the night. Sasha got back into the ring.
Yeah, multiple times.
She got into she was halfway under the ropes. That's enough.
Oh yeah.
To break these.
I've seen a ref count stop a count less.
But yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Like, make Shayna look like an idiot, make Shotzi look like an idiot, and who was it, Natalia? I think it was Natalia.
Yeah, it was Natalia. Yeah, Shayna Baszler was one of the other ones.
Yeah, Shayna, Shotzi, and Natty.
Yeah. And it's the other two things I wanted to make note of this is that there were two number one contenders to the top titles in this. Toni Storm has said, I'm now the number one contender to the Smack. And it really feels like, because they're doing Sasha and Shotzi, that Toni is next in line to face Flair for the title. She was the first one eliminated for Team SmackDown.
Yep.
Liv Morgan, who is the number one contender to Becky, was the first out for her team, or at least the second. Oh no, she was the second out for her team because Mella was out first. But they were both out really early in the match.
I thought Liv Morgan had a decent enough showing.
Toni Storm had a decent enough showing, but they were also the first people eliminated for their teams. So they don't feel like the number one does Toni Storm feel like the number one contender when she's the first person out of 5 people eliminated?
Here's the question: was it better or worse than last year's women's match? When Nia Jax...
Oh, it was the Nia Jax one, yeah.
When Nia Jax ran away from the ring instead of going back in the ring, and everyone was eliminated apart from Lana.
Yeah. I mean, it was bad. And in the end, it was basically all built around so that Bianca Belair could beat all 4 of them on her own, which she did. Well, all 3 of them on her own, because Team SmackDown eliminated Sasha Banks themselves. And so she pins Shotzi, she pins Natty, and she pins Baszler. Bianca Belair looked awesome. I don't think this accomplished a whole deal outside of making Belair look really good.
Yeah, I think it should have come down to, I think Bianca should have binned off Natty, binned off Shotzi. Maybe some miscommunication got rid of Shayna, and it should have come down to Bianca versus Sasha.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Because that's the thing that people are interested in.
Yeah. Like when they were actually in the ring, the fans came alive. The fans did a Mexican wave during this match because they did not give a crap.
This crowd were done.
Well, because they'd just been shown some pantomime vaudevillian bollocks of just like,
do you want some pizza?
Do you want some pizza? Or would you like this pizza? Have that one, Moss. Aren't you tall? Too tall for pizza, though.
Yeah, I know. No good. I didn't like that much. And then in the
house show, genuinely sub house show levels of nonsense.
To give some praise and to give some credit to this, it did further the storyline between Banks and Shotzi, which is a core storyline on SmackDown. So
sure.
At least that is a storyline from this match that can continue on SmackDown. And you cannot say a lot of that outside of the egg stuff that happened on this show.
Bianca looked like a star. So good things. It's better than last year's, but still, like at this point in the night for us, like.
Also, where was Doudrop? Doudrop said on Raw, "I'm going to be at Survivor Series and I'm going to be looking out for you." Because we joked, it won't be that hard. She's in the match.
Maybe she stole the egg.
It was Doudrop. Who'd have thunk it? Also, on that, Hornswoggle did win the poll. 33%. Roman 23, Sami Zayn 22 to R-Truth 20.
Oh, a fairly even split.
Fairly even split that was. You almost say it was not much worth us doing. And then I'm kidding, of course. And then in the main event, after teasers of The Rock, after teasers of Brock Lesnar, Roman beat Big E, and the show ended.
Oh, it was a good match, though.
It was really good, this. It got good.
Fans didn't care about it for a while. We didn't care about it for a while. But, you know, like you say, we sat back and we were just like, this will get good in 10 minutes.
Yes.
We can chat for 10 minutes. We can go and have a pee break. You know, it doesn't. We'd seen the urgency, like you say. Big E on Raw, I want to say, came out, cut a promo saying like, "You put your hands on my family, and for that, I'm going to beat you like you stole something." Charlotte and Becky went in with that intensity. Big E and Roman did not.
Collar and elbows high.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a good Roman Reigns match. A very, really, really good match. I actually really enjoyed this. Like, got really good towards the end. Lots of, kicking out the spear, kicking out of the big ending.
I think they heated up. I think there were some really well-timed moments of Big E essentially hulking up.
Yeah.
Which is definitely not the appropriate term to use. But that is the typical name for the babyface spot. Like, he had real fire, and I think at that point really connected with the audience. And I think that is a good story to take away here, that people responded to Big E in a way that you would respond to a proper baby face.
Yeah.
Like, not an ironic face, not like, oh, we like you because you're cool, but just like, we want you to beat the villain. Come on, Big E. Come on, Big E.
Yeah.
And then there was a truncated finish, and I think that it didn't quite end in the most spectacular way, but
Yeah, I mean, it was because we were looking at the clock and we were like, okay, either the show's going to finish at 3:30, in which case they've got 90 seconds to finish this match, or it's going to end at 2:45. It ended at past, so the finish just happened.
yeah.
And Roman Reigns won, and he celebrated, and he walked to the back, and the show ended.
Holding up a finger because year one.
Well, and also he the won.
Oh yeah.
So like it was good, but it doesn't really create much else for anything.
No.
There should have been Bloodline versus New Day. As with New Day as the tag champs, and Big E as the WWE champ, and the Usos are the tag champs with Roman as the Universal champion. But WWE, in their infinite wisdom, look at the New Day and think, those two tiny dorks have been really holding back Big E out all these years. We should move them away so that Big E can actually flourish without them.
Tell you what I would like to have seen. Do you remember when, I want to say it was, that's it. It was AJ versus Roman. And it was Extreme Rules match, and Roman had the Usos in his corner, and AJ had the club.
Yeah.
And it was just like a knockdown, drag out thing. And those guys could get in. Like, it was still a singles match because then you can do the Survivor Series thing. But those guys got involved. Those guys could get involved, do a couple of like crazy table spots, like going through the announce table, like a few jumps onto a sea of people, like make it feel like. And I think New Day versus Bloodline absolutely would have earned that kind of feeling.
Was it at Extreme Rules? What did you think of the show?
Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing extraordinary, you could say. I thought it was a better than average Survivor Series show, but the Survivor Series format is incredibly stale and a bit lifeless. The egg stuff is incredibly weird, incredibly camp, and is the kind of ironically compelling. It's the absence of anything else that's compelling, which means that just a gag segment, which is promising to have a gag payoff, which is you have to prepare yourself for the fact it's going to be like a 10-second thing.
Oh, 100%. Like I ironically loved all the egg stuff.
Yeah,
we made the egg stuff way better than it had any. Like, if I was watching this on my own, if I was in Laurie's shoes, where he's like watching this.
Laurie had to watch himself lose Wrestle League tonight.
Yeah, he did, yeah. If I was in Laurie's position where I'm watching this show live so I can write the review and do the green screen stuff, I would have seen that egg stuff and been like, what the F is this? We, on the other hand, had some beers, we'd had some pizza. All of a sudden, Vince McMahon shows up and he's talking about eggs or something, and we had a ball.
Yeah, it's true.
We had a grand old time with it. So that, I think, has raised my opinion of the egg stuff. I am the walrus, cuckoo, cuckoo. I'm genuinely excited to watch Raw now. But I guarantee you, when I watch Raw on Monday,
by yourself,
on Tuesday, when I'm by myself, I'll be like, actually, this is absolute bobbins.
So perhaps the lesson is that WWE isn't good. Watching wrestling with your friends is good.
Well, yeah, what a lesson to learn. So yeah, I overall it was a show, I guess.
Yeah, some good stuff. That Becky Charlotte match is going to age better than the entire rest of the show.
Becky Charlotte was ace. I thought the final... the men's thing was all right. The men's elimination match was all right.
Up until the Drew thing, I think.
Yeah, it was fine.
Don't ever watch the pizza thing again.
No.
The women's, I felt it was a bit too kind of just like you say, doofusy to really put over anyone strong. I mean, Bianca, I guess, but she's
not good for the title.
She was capitalizing on them being, silly bastards. And a decent main event. It's a 2-match card.
You also missed out the tag match again.
Yeah. Just do, don't you?
Well, let's get into the rest of your Ultrachats. While you're also clicking links if you want to get involved in the conversation, WrestleTalk.com/support. While you also go to beer52.com/WrestleTalk, get yourself 10 free craft beers on us. I am so tired. I can feel my eyes being so heavy.
I know. I'm thinking about bed.
Yeah, I'm really thinking about bed now. Maybe doing the podcast after live streams isn't the way. It's not the one.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. It was my idea as well, so I'm very sorry about this.
That's fine.
I just didn't want to come in and again because I've got to drive back into London, and I could not be bollocks to Blood Wire Radio. Oh, we did that one. I did that in the first bit. Callum Hogan. I'll be honest, I got another drink. But being honest, I love some positive encouragement. So could you guys say, Callum, then something nice. Surprised me. Also, sorry for being needy. I love you guys. Can't wait for Blood on the Clock Tower. Uncut on Tuesday. Love you guys. Andy rules.
Callum, you're a very generous person. You seem to be having a great night. And that's good. Live life to the fullest, Callum. You're awesome. Thank you for your support and your generosity.
Callum, if you see a $100 million golden egg, you better take it. I hope it was you. Lakshman Narashim Hambi, let's play Quizomania. The first round is The Price is Shite. How much is this vintage Vince McMahon Survivor Series golden egg? That was pretty much the storyline for Survivor Series 21.
Came out of his car. They were all
I rewatched it to get the thumbnail, and it made me laugh.
Oh, wait, hang on. I know it's great that I'm here.
And do you know what? Actually, let me just circle back to this again. Do you remember my reaction when I first saw Vince get out? I nearly threw up. I was genuinely physically ill and put off by Vince McMahon stepping out of a car and there being a parade of people applauding him.
Yeah.
Because
after this week,
I was like, ugh. It genuinely made my stomach turn that this man would have the gall to write this angle and write himself to be this hero to a locker room, that when he steps out of a limo, people are waiting for him so they could just applaud him being there. It made me feel sick to my stomach.
Where job security in WWE is at the lowest it's probably ever been. Where you could be freshly called up and then gone within a month. Where you could be in the middle of a storyline and then immediately cut loose. When you could be promised something and then immediately sent on the scrap heap. It's... To then have a bunch of people fawning over him, almost with you can just see the guns off camera, people applauding at gunpoint. It genuinely, if it wasn't for the egg thing, which is just something that we are latching onto in order to be entertained, because the rest of it is so drab and boring. If it wasn't for the egg thing, it would be genuinely gross.
Yeah.
Genuinely gross. And I went into this show, as you'll see if you watch the stream. My face when the camera comes on, I went into this looking to not have a good time.
Yeah.
Because genuinely F this company right now. This month, they got rid of Keith Lee. This month, and Hit Row as well. I just don't have any positive feeling to the company.
I really don't.
I can't believe they did it before their big four. I can't believe, like you say, Vince would come out and be soundly welcomed by his adoring staff. It's a baffling, inhumane, corporate, just the the corporate sleaze just oozes from every pore of WWE, and that's the kind of thing, the hawking pizza and Cricket Wireless, and they're just throwing so many consumeristic things at you, and it's lame, it's not cool, it lacks any of that kind of like genuine human spark, any recognizable human emotion, and yeah, like. I really wanted to go into the show and hate it, and I walked away feeling like that was an all right night, which is a hell of an achievement and a testament to the roster that they still have.
Yeah, that was like, he came out, he did that, and I was like, that is gross and disgusting. And then he pulled out an egg, and the whole thing turned around for me. Vince is magic.
Vince has a way of being instantly forgiven, doesn't he?
Doesn't he just? It's so weird. Like, he is a guy, like, he literally fires, 160 odd people, 120 people. It's more than that. It's like 140 people he's fired over the last 2 years. If he went out on Raw, people would chant no chance in hell. Yeah. And people probably will do come Monday. Nickname took forever, has been a Memberg for 7 months. And thank you to new Memberg, Evan McLeod. Loot Sponge says, was at the event, was part of the wave. The crowd cared about nothing after the Pizza Battle Royal. We chanted for CM Punk, AEW, and booed other seating sections that did not do the wave. This company. I also got a message from someone who said the show was awesome live. Did it come across on TV? No, it didn't. And some stupid punk, who has been a Memberg for 5 months in a row, said, what happened on this show? I didn't watch, just got in. Something about a golden egg. These guys seem so tired and run down. Ain't that the truth? Right, well, I think that's going to do it for this episode of the WrestleTalk Podcast. Thank you, Adam, for stepping in to do this so Ollie can go home and be less of a sleepy boy because he's got to do a green screen video.
Absolutely fine. I'm going to go home and be the sleepiest boy.
Oh, I've got to go get a train now. I might go get myself a little egg and cheese McMuffin, though.
You've got a kid. You've got a newborn waiting for you at home. Yeah. What were you thinking?
Well, I'm just going to watch the video of her laughing. That's if I don't fall asleep on the train, that's going to get me home, basically, and then I'm going to fall asleep.
Take the belt with you, yeah. And then when she wakes up, just show her and be like, Daddy won this.
Look what Daddy won.
Daddy won this with a lunchbox.
I'm nearly 40.
On that bombshell.
Beer52.com/WrestleTalk. Get yourselves 10 free craft beers on us. We will be back on Tuesday with the Raw review, the next step in Who Done It with the golden egg, and I cannot smeggin' wait for it. And then on Wednesday, there'll be the NXT review. Thursday, AEW. Friday, Team Danuke rides again. Where? The designer of the Jam That Championship belt is going to be on this show to talk about it. So that's going to be very cool and exciting. Then on Saturday, it'll be Tempest and Pete reviewing SmackDown. That is also our last live stream reaction, I think, until the Rumble.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think we may do Wrestle Kingdom, but I think it's a week long now, so that might be slightly difficult.
Ain't no bugger doing year one.
None of us are doing day one. On New Year's Day, smeg off. Absolutely, that's not happening. So we're not going to do day one. We'll do a podcast review, but we'll do live reactions to the Rumble. It'll be our next one. Until then, everyone, I have been Luke Cohen. DAD, your Jam That Champion. That has been Adam Blompier, Handsome Annie. And that was wrestling. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.